Hi everyone, welcome to this malware analysis and reverse engineering lab. Today we are going to see a very important topic called the P header investigation. So we are going to do malware analysis under the context of P header. So before that, I will give a quick summary of what we have done so far. So this is the second file I have given as a malware sample, right? Circular-xls.exe file. So we are going to do a basic analysis of this file. For that, I have to identify whether this file is a executable file or whether it has been packed or not. We are going to identify. So it is a 32-bit executable file. The exeinfo p tool said that it is a 32-bit executable file. It has a Windows GUI mode, right? It is actually UPX packed. So if it is UPX packed, it will be easy for us as a malware research analyst. It will be easy for us to unpack this kind of files. For that, we have to use a UPX tool for unpacking this packed malicious file. So I have to use a UPX unpacker. So we can download it from the GitHub, and you can extract the same, and you can you can drag this upx.exe into your desktop so that you can do analysis from the desktop itself. So it is a command line tool. So I am opening my command prompt, right? So and I am getting into the desktop. Right. So here I'm having each and every files. So I'm going to call this UPX tool. So for that UPX, if I'm clicking UPX, so it will show the different options, right? I'm going to decompress. So I'm going to give like UPX space hyphen D is nothing for decompress, hyphen O is for I'm going to write the unpack file in a particular output file. So my output file may be unpacked circular, right? Circular hyphen xls.exe, right? So which file I want to unpack is this file. So I'm copying the name of this file, right? So I'm pasting here, right? By giving space, I'm pasting here this file. So it has a double.exe. So I'm unpacking. One file has been unpacked here, and it has been right in the desktop itself. So I'm going to do an analysis, a very basic analysis of this unpacked file. So I'm dragging this file and putting it into the bintext.exe file. So where I'm getting a basic strings, right? So this is actually unpacked strings. So let us have a comparison of a packed and unpacked strings. So I'm dragging this unpacked file, packed file also. So you can see a lot of difference, right? It is actually, the strings are actually unusual. We couldn't extract any usual information from this packed version of this malware file. So I'm using the UPX tool to unpack this file. I'm getting a very clear strings extracted from the unpacked versions. So I'm closing this window. I'm using only unpacked malware file. So getting down, right? So this is actually a Microsoft Visual C++ runtime library string is there, which means that it might be an executable file. We have confirmed this with the help of exeinfo tool itself, right? And coming down, we are having a number of APIs, right? Write file is there, read file is there, delete file is there. So number of APIs are there, common APIs are there. So we can confirm that this malicious file is capable of writing something, reading some file, right? Deleting some file. So we can confirm this thing with the help of this APIs, which is present in this as a string in this file. Coming down now, it is having the registry APIs also. It is capable of deleting some key of registry entries. It is having some reg set value exa, which means that it can create some entries, it can delete some entries, it can create some key value also. So it is a kind of a common APIs which is present, which is used for doing some modification in the registry entries. So this malware is capable of doing some modification in the registry entries also. So coming down, I'm having a very interesting thing, right? Some HTML script is there, right? So in this HTML script, there is a note called Windows Security Center has detected some spyware. Your computer is dangerous, right? So some script is there. So as I said earlier, we have confirmed this as a guy mode. Portable executable file. It will show. It may pop up some. Some information to the victim. Maybe this malware is going to interact with the victim. So and hence this content is there in the string, right? So there is a URL, right? It is having the URL. In the URL itself, it is having U and P, right? Which means that it may retrieve some username and password also from the victim. So we have to conscious on this thing also. And it is having a host name also, download bravesentry.com, and importantly it is having a IP address in this string. They're having another URL which is having U and P, right? Username and password. It is going to retrieve some username and password, right? The host name is there, right? And we are having some registry keys also, right? Some internet settings, registry key also, software, Microsoft Windows, current version, internet settings. And again a note is there, your computer is in danger, right? The same note which is present in the HTML script, right? Some file has to be dropped, bravesentry.exe in the folder of the bravesentry of program files, right? This similar, the same, a note is available here too. And I'm coming down, right? I'm coming down, right? So it is having some other registry keys which is related to active desktop on. So which if this registry keys is present, then this malware is capable of doing some modification in the desktop also, right? So it is having some wallpaper, right? Registry entries and all. So active desktop is there, right? Again I'm having the program files bravesentry folder is there. Okay, so and some software Microsoft current version run a persistent registry key is there, which means that if this registry entry is registered in this victim system, then while every rebooting, this malware is actually getting started for every reboot. So auto start of this malware is enabled with this registry keys. Right, so this is actually a persistent key, right? So coming down, so again I'm seeing the same thing, right? So again it has been continued. The second time the bin text will show the strings second time, as I said earlier. So this is the basic string analysis with the help of bin text. So I'm closing here the bin text. We are going to analyze with the help of PE header of a particular malicious file. This will tell you actually what you are going to confirm this particular file is a malicious with the help of PE header investigation. For that I am using a PE Studio. So you can download this PE Studio right from minitor.com. So it is a freeware, right? You can download it and extract it, and you can create a shortcut for this PE Studio in your desktop, right? I'm using now itself I'm using the unpacked version of the malicious file only. I am dragging this file into the PE Studio. Please watch the lecture video. What I have hosted in YouTube. You see that video and come to this hands-on lab, so that it will be very clear for you, right? So you study what is mean by PE header. You have to study what is mean by resources. You have to study what is mean by section under PE header, or file header. What is mean by optional header? Yeah, everything you have to study, and you have to come here for the hands-on. I request you everyone to study that everything, the basic thing about the PE header, and get into this hands-on. Right, I'm opening this unpacked version of the malicious file, right, with the help of this PE Studio. This will clearly give a structure of the PE header of this particular malicious file. So as I said earlier, the PE header of any file is actually direct the OS. Direct the OS of the victim system, which will tell this, which will tell the system, which will direct the OS, right, how to execute this malicious file. If it needs some other supporting library files for executing this malicious file, it will get that file from the system itself and it will get executed. So so you compare this P header with the director of a particular film, right? So what actually the director will do of a particular film is he will direct everything, right? He will direct everything. So similarly, this P header is act as a director for this particular malicious file. It will direct the OS, it will direct this malicious file to execute. If anything needed, it will ask the OS and get the library files, and with the support of this library files, it gets executed. So you keep it in your mind, it is actually a director for this malicious file. So you opening the PE Studio, you directly get into this file header directly. So in this file header, you can easily search the compiler timestamp, right? So there is a compiler timestamp is there, which means that this file has been compiled on a date, a particular date, right? On a day of Monday, on May 7th. Some time is there and it has been compiled on the year of 2017. So with the help of this P header, you could find the compilation time of this particular malicious file when it has been created. So this is the first thing you have to note it down, right? And then you can directly get into the optional header, right? You can directly get into the optional header. You can confirm that the subsystem is a GUI mode, right? It is going to interact, this malware is going to interact with the victim by popping up some messages to you, and it is going to interact with the user, right? So and then you directly go into, right, sections. So you can directly get into the sections. So this is the order. There are several orders to investigate this P header. For my point of view, I am telling you this will be the best order, right? You first enter into the file header and note the timestamp, compiling timestamp, when the malware has been created, and you can note down the date and time of this compiler stamp. And then you go to the optional header, you confirm that it is a GUI mode application, and then directly go into the section. So under this section, there are three sections here, right? Dot text section, dot data section, and dot RSRC section. So here in the first section, it is actually consists of the code section. Each and every code of this particular malicious file which is present in this text section. In the second section, dot data sections, it consists of all the data which has been needed for executing this malicious file. And in the third section, RSRC, it is a resource sections. It consists of some resource files. Say for some example, it consists of some icon. Icon is actually a resource of a particular malicious file, so it consists of some resource thing. So these are all the three sections we are going to explore here for this particular malicious file. Here what you have to note it down is, for the data section, it has the writable option. So if it is a data sections, then writable option is okay for any file, because the data has to be write within itself. So giving the permission option of writable thing, it will be good, right? And for resource sections, it is not there. And when we are coming to the text section, the coding section, it should not be in a writable permission option, right? For text, code section, it should be in the readable permission option, but here it is in the it has been ticked in the permission option of writable thing. Code should not be rewritable. It should be in the form of readable permission option, but here in this case of malicious file it is in the form of writable permission option. So here it is an unusual thing we have been finding out here. So malware may be doing some self-modifying code that is for rewriting code as it runs. So it itself rewrite its code when it is on the execution. So this is unusual thing. For data sections it will be quite okay. It may be a readable, it may be a writable permission can be given for this dot data sections. But in case of a dot text section, which consists of all the code for executing this malicious file, it should be in the readable permission option, but here it is in the permission option of writable. So which means that it is actually unusual. The malware may be doing something, some self-modifying code. So it has been here in the section braces itself, it is a self-modifying. So it has been indicated here. So no need to worry. So this is a very advanced tool. It will tell you. So we have been confirming here it is actually rewriting code as it runs, as it on executions, right? Then go to libraries, right? Some kernel 32 DLL is found, WinSock DLL, WinSock 32 DLL is found. From this DLL we came to know that it is actually WinSock 32-bit DLL which is used for communicating the some other person or some other host in the internet. So other network it is going to communicate. So this malware is also going to communicate. As we have recalled the strings, we have already seen the HTTP, URL, everything we have seen, right? So in the string itself, which means that it is actually going to communicate. It is actually going to communicate with the some other host in the internet. So and then go to import table. Import table is very important. So this here the list of individual APIs are being listed here. From this we came to know that having the evidence of what the malware can do, right? It consists of, it lists that the evidence of what actually the malware can do, right? So here when I am getting down here, I am having a write API files. All are API files, right? Individual API files. There is a write API, a write file API, and read file API, and delete file API. Every API is going to do something, right? So write file, it is going to write something. This malicious file is capable of writing something. This malicious file is capable of reading some file into the system, from the system. It is going to delete some file from the system. Everything it is going to do with the help of this API. And also it is having the APIs related to registry keys. So reg delete key is there, reg set value is there, which is also present in the string also, right? So reg create key AXA is there, right? So it is going to do some modification in the registries also with the help of this APIs. So in the import table, I am going to see all the APIs, individual APIs. It gives the evidence what the malware is actually going to do. Right, coming down, we are having 17, 4, 23, 11, 10, 9, 20, some 7 APIs are there, which is being represented in the number offset. We all know that, right? Number offset means ordinal value, which is indirectly means some APIs, right? So this is related to the network, right? A network, maybe WinSock32.dll will use these ordinals and ordinals for communicating the other network in the internet, right? Coming down, very interesting thing we can see here is executable. So with this API, this malware is capable of executing something, maybe execute some potentially unwanted applications in this system, right? It is going to execute. We are going to confirm everything, right? We are going to confirm everything in the dynamic analysis, whether it is going to write a file, whether it is going to execute something, everything we are going to confirm. We are going to confirm whether registry entries is going to drop or do some modifications, right? Everything we are going to confirm in the dynamic analysis. And another important API is the sleep API. This is actually an anti-analysis or anti-debugging feature if this API is present in a malicious file. If with this API we can get sleep of this malware for a particular time period. Say for example 30 minutes you stay on this system. You are actually running on this system, but you are not doing any activities. This is the thing it is going to deliver. I mean sleep API. So this file may be sleep in this system for 30 minutes to 1 hour. So this is going to do, right? Or doing my research, I have seen such kind of malware that has been stayed stayed in the system, and I mean sleep in the system for 50 days also. So it will stay and it will execute after 50 days. So this is actually kind of, if sleep API is present, it is a kind of anti-analysis and anti-debugging feature. So you have to make a note on this thing also, right? Coming down, right, everything we have seen, right? Yeah, registry keys we have seen, right? And WinSock 32, I mean DLL APIs, I mean ordinal APIs we have seen, right? Everything we have seen. You explore everything, right? I am giving a glimpse here. You explore everything, right? And go to resources finally. So where is resources? Here is resources, right? It is here we are seeing the resources. 3 resources are there: icon, dialog, and the icon group is there. These 3 are the resources. A dialog, if dialog resource is present, it is going to popping out some messages with the help of this dialog box, right? So and there is an icon is there. Maybe icon will be used for any application. So here also this malware using this icon, right? And coming to the language, 2 resources are neutral and 1 is actually Russian, which means that this malware may be compiled in a Russian system, may be compiled in a Russian system, may be created in a Russian system. So you keep a note on this thing, right? It may be the language we have been finding out for a particular resources is Russian. So maybe some executable code, executable scripts are there, might be there under this resources, but here for this case of malware it is not there actually. Everything is actually a non-PE file, it is not a executable file, so no need to worry about this thing. So you have to make a note here. It is 2 resources are neutral and 1 is actually the language is Russians. Maybe this file may be compiled in a Russian system, right, while doing compilation. Okay, so so let us conclude here. So these are all the things you have to do while investigating the PE header, right? So first things you have to get into the file header. Second things, note it down the timestamp. Second thing, you have to go into the optional header, get a note on GUI mode, right? And third one is you have to get into the section, right? You investigate the writable permission, readable permission, everything of a particular sections, and do analysis, right? And then you can go for libraries. What are all the DLLs? It has to communicate this file for execution of this malware. It has to communicate. You can search here, and then finally this is the import table. These are all the APIs it is going to call, right? So every API, number of APIs are there. You have to do an analysis here also, and you can go here for the resources. There are 3 resources are there. You have to check the languages of the resources and everything, right? And also strings are also there, right? Strings are also there. You can see the strings what you have seen in the bin text also. Every strings we have seen, right? Everything is there. IP address, right? URL, everything is there, right? Everything is there. You can also go to these indicators, and then indicators, indication of compromise, it has been consolidated here, right? So the file contains the resources in a language targeted as tagged as a blacklist. Russian is there, right? So the first section is a writable text section. The coding section is a writable thing. Here it should not be there as a legitimate file. It should not be there. Some URL is present, some IP address is present. Everything has been consolidated here as a indicators for a particular malicious file. Okay, so this is all about how you have to investigate the PE header of a particular malicious file, and hence I am confirming that this is a malicious file with the help of the PE header investigation. So this is a very important thing if you are going to analyze do a manual analysis of a particular malicious file. Let us have a consolidated report. Right here I have written some of the IOCs, right? It is actually, while investigating this circular xls.exe file, it is a UPX packed file. So we have unpacked with the help of UPX tool, and we have been finding out this is a Win32 executable file, and some URL is actually present there, right? So some IP address is also present there, and we can search that IP address in the Google search, and we can do some research also. If I am finding any strings in this particular malicious file, you can do a hash search, you can do a virus total search, you can do a URL search in the virus total also, right? You can do a search, right? Some files are there, right? Number of files are there, right? Brave sentry.exe file, xupdate.exe file is there, right? It is going to drop a xupdate exe file, right? It is there, right? In the strings also you can see, right? So these are all the strings, right? Right, brave entry, right? Brave entry.exe, some files it is going to drop, right? And in Windows folder you can see there xupdate.exe. It is an unusual thing. So if it is a genuine file only, it has to communicate the Windows and Windows System 32 folder. So otherwise it should not communicate with this folder. It is a malware file. It should not drop any file in this Windows. So it is unusual. We can confirm this as a malicious file, right? Files and registry entries, lots of registry entries it is going to put, persistent keys, everything it is going to put. So we have seen that thing also. And then there is a note in the strings. It is actually a fake AV. It might be a fake antivirus, right? It is going to interact with the popping up some messages, interacting with the users. So compiled timestamp when the malware has been created, we have extracted, and then we have also see the sections, 3 sections. Text section is in the writable mode, which is not at all acceptable, right? Import address table, we have seen lots of APIs are there in the import address table. Some sleep API is there, right? Everything we have seen. And resources, we have noted the languages of all the resources and all. So this is how you have to analyze in the context of a PE header for a particular malicious file. And I hope everyone should do a hands-on on this, and share this every tool and sample also. Do a hands-on. Before doing hands-on, you study what is meant by PE header with the help of the lecture video what I have posted. Thank you.